All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack something really fascinating, sometimes a little brutal, but honestly, ultimately liberating, and that's the pure mechanics of wealth. We're taking a hard look at the banking system, this massive, invisible infrastructure we all interact with every single day, and how it treats you radically differently depending on where you sit on the financial spectrum. We're talking about a wild journey from literally $0 all the way up to 25 million. And as you'll see, it changes not just what you can buy, but quite literally who you are allowed to be in the eyes of the financial world. So let's just dive right in.
Okay, picture this. It is, I don't know, 11:47 p.m. You are frantically refreshing your banking app. You just spent $4 on a coffee earlier that you completely forgot was scheduled to charge. And boom, that tiny, tiny mistake just triggered a $35 overdraft fee. Suddenly, you're looking at your phone and your account is $77 in the hole because some random $7 streaming subscription you haven't used in half a year processed right after it. It is literally an avalanche of penalties. Now, hold that feeling and contrast it with this. Maybe 20 years down the line, that exact same bank might fly a private consultant into your office, sit them across your mahogany desk, just to ask your personal opinion on global markets. It is the exact same institution. So, how on earth do we get from a $35 punishment for a $4 mistake to total VIP treatment?
Well, that brings us to section one, the penalty of being broke.
Look, to understand the view from the top, we really have to start at the bottom. At this first level, you hit a pretty brutal truth. The system actively penalizes you for slipping. Down here, you are doing what we call survival math. The bank doesn't look at your account and see a human being. They see a risk score wearing shoes. You are literally doing the mental gymnastics of calculating if you can skip lunch on Wednesday just so you can afford to make it to payday on Friday. It's intense. At this stage, money feels exactly like oxygen. You are either breathing or you're drowning. There's really no in between.
Moving on to section two, from risk to profitable.
The good news is, things do actually change. That frantic day-to-day panic starts to fade a bit as you crawl your way out of the negative and hit your first real milestone, which is around $2,000. And it's funny, right as you reach this balance, the bank magically starts to notice you. But why? Well, because you finally become profitable to them. Those incredibly annoying monthly maintenance fees that just quietly bled your account dry, gone. They just vanish. Your behavior finally matches a profile that the bank can actually sell things to. So you start getting those fancy credit card offers in the mail. You know the ones, printed on that thick paper with the shiny metallic ink. For the very first time in your entire financial life, the system is actually saying yes to you.
But the real shift, the real game changer, happens at what we can call level 4, right around $15,000. This is a massive turning point. This is where the bank actually assigns you a relationship banker. Suddenly, out of nowhere, the actual price of money gets cheaper for you. Your loan rates drop. And why is this happening? Simply because you're no longer seen as a risk in their algorithms. Now, here's a really crucial realization. The bank wasn't actually being malicious or, intentionally mean to you when you were broke. It was just indifferent. It's a massive machine. But, and this is a big but, at massive scale, mechanical indifference feels exactly like cruelty to the person on the receiving end. So when you hit that 15 grand, you are finally stepping outside the blast radius of that indifference.
All right, section 3, the relationship banking shift.
Okay, let's take a breath here, because now we are entering a completely different atmosphere. As you hit levels 5 and 6, getting up toward that $500,000 mark, a fundamental, almost geographic shift happens in your relationship with your money. The bank completely stops being a physical building that you have to, drive to, find parking for, and wait in line to visit. Instead, it transforms into this bespoke service that actively comes to you.
I mean, just look at the VIP treatment at this tier. You are no longer being sold products. You are being consulted. You start getting invites to these private, exclusive dinners in high-rise buildings with stunning city views, views you've probably never seen before. And what's really fascinating here is that at these dinners, money isn't even the conversation anymore. Money is just the table you're sitting at. It's an unspoken given.
Which leads perfectly into section 4, outsourcing and buying time. So alongside all this financial maturity comes a really vital psychological shift. You start realizing that your most finite, absolute most precious resource is time, not the money sitting in the vault. But honestly, this creates a lot of friction.
Think about a first-generation millionaire. They might literally have a bank wire clear for over $1 million on a Tuesday, yet they'll drive home and still find their 66-year-old father lying on a flattened piece of cardboard in the driveway, changing his own oil just to save 40 bucks. When you start out down at level 1, that kind of gritty, manual self-reliance is a necessary survival tool. But man, it is an incredibly hard habit to break once you've made it. Progressing through this wealth spectrum means you have to deliberately, consciously move towards strategic outsourcing. You gotta hire the cleaner, get the CPA, bring on an assistant, and this requires completely flipping your mental script, going from saving money so you can spend time to spending money so you can save time. And look, outsourcing is not about being lazy. Not at all. It's actually a profound realization. When you get, say, a $400 dividend payment, it hits you. That is the first money you ever earned that wasn't directly traded for an hour of your waking life. That passive income, that is true freedom. It's the ultimate escape from just blindly trading your life force for capital. And finally, Section 5, the power of quiet capital. This brings us to the absolute ultimate destination of the climb. It is a place of complete, absolute serenity in the financial ecosystem. By the time you hit level 8, which is around $25 million, you aren't really a customer anymore. Actually, scratch that. You transition into a full-blown partner to the institution. You've officially moved from the person getting slapped with a $35 fee for a coffee mistake to the person the chief investment officer literally boards a private plane to come meet in person. But you know what? The true prize at this ultimate level isn't the flash. It's not the prestige. It's the silence. It's that profound, peaceful ability to just sit in your kitchen on a quiet Tuesday morning and realize you simply don't need anyone's permission anymore. There are no alarm clocks, no frantic math on the back of an envelope. You have successfully used your capital to buy back your mornings forever. So what should we really take away from all this? Look, we are all somewhere on this spectrum trying to build lives that eventually buy us back our freedom, level by level. I think it's time to stop playing a game that needs an audience and start playing the game of quiet capital. So take a hard look at your own journey right now. Are you still just counting your dollars, or are you actually ready to start making your hours count? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you all next time.